All right, guys, let's talk about Wicked for Good. Now, I did just get home from watching the double feature of Wicked and Wicked for Good. This was the second time that I watched Wicked for Good, and the reason I waited to make this video until then was because, guys, I was really underwhelmed by Wicked for Good, and unfortunately, this second viewing did not do anything to change my mind on that. So let's talk about that. First of all, the first Wicked movie was a phenomenal movie. I loved it. I had a great time with it. I think it's one of the better made films in the last, I don't know, 5 years I've been watching movies. And as far as musicals goes, it's super top notch. John M. Chu, Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, the entire cast, the entire team, fantastic job. This movie to me fell short on one aspect and one aspect alone compared to the first one, and that's the story and the plot. Everything else across the board was still great, right? Again, production design, the world of Oz, costuming, cinematography. The cinematography in this was phenomenal. John M. Chu's directing, great. Cynthia Erivo, killing it, hitting amazing notes. Ariana Grande, same. Michelle Yeoh, stepping up in the second movie. What an awesome performance she had. Jeff Goldblum, also really great. Everything else that's as far as like those pillars of movie making are all still there, and it's still a really great made movie. So Wicked for Good is definitely worth checking out in theaters just for that alone. But with that said, my biggest issue with this movie is the plot and the story. Now, yes, I'm someone who did not know the Broadway musical, and yeah, I have issues with just the story in general of how it went about, like the things that happened, the explanations for certain things, and how it ended. But that's not my biggest gripe. I have issues with that. I didn't love the ending. I didn't love what ended up happening and how we got there. The biggest issue for me is that this movie feels like there was a lot of story, a lot of plot points that were crammed into a 2.5 hour movie that felt like it needed longer than that. And because of that, so many things felt rushed. I felt like there wasn't enough time in this movie for the characters to develop and lead them to make the choices and decisions that they did in the movie, right? So in this movie, we find out many different things, whether it's, Cynthia Erivo's character, whether it's Ariana as Glinda, whether it's, Jonathan Bailey, as Fiero, even Bach, right? Or Nessa Rose, like all these characters have things happen to them and their character gets changed or they make decisions, right? That kind of changes the demeanor of their character.